week, or during the time of Lent, we've been reading from Hope for the Flowers by Trina Paulus. And we're all the way to chapter 6. Loving God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you, my God, my strength, and my Redeemer. Amen. So, when we left, Stripe was on the top of the caterpillar pillar, and Yellow had turned into a butterfly.
Pastor Wendy, would you show the pictures, please? Because for some reason I don't have them.
Oh, okay. He turned around and began down the pillar. This time he didn't curl up. He stretched out full length and looked straight into the eyes of each caterpillar. He marveled at the variety and beauty, amazed that he had never noticed it before. He whispered to each, "I've been up. There's nothing there." Most paid no attention. They were too intent on climbing. One said, "It's sour grapes. He's bitter. I bet he never made it to the top." You see Stripe climbing down the caterpillar pillar. But some were shocked and even stopped climbing to hear him better. One of these whispered in anguish, "Don't say it, even if it's true. What else can we do?" Stripe, caterpillars. Stripe's answer shocked them all, including himself. "We can fly. We can become butterflies. There's nothing at the top, and it doesn't matter." As he heard his own message, he realized how he had misread the instinct to get high. To get to the top, he must fly, not climb. Stripe looked at each caterpillar inebriated with joy that there could be a butterfly inside. And here's Stripe and the caterpillar pillar and some butterflies. But the reaction was worse than before. He saw fear in eyes. They didn't stop to listen or speak. This happy, glorious news was too much to take, too good to be true. And if it wasn't true, the hope that lit up the pillar dimmed. All seemed confused and unreal. The way down was so immensely long. The vision of the butterfly faded. And here's Stripe on a pillar that's not so beautiful. Oh, there it is. One more. Oops, or not. Oh, there it is. There it is. Doubt flooded Stripe. The pile took on horrible dimensions. He struggled on, barely, blindly. It seemed wrong to give up believing, yet believing seemed impossible. A crawler sneered, "How could you swallow such a story? Our life is earth and climbing. Look at us worms. We couldn't be butterflies inside. Make the best of it and enjoy caterpillar living." "Perhaps he's right," sighed Stripe. "I haven't any proof. Did I only make it up because I needed it so much?" And in pain, he continued down, searching for those eyes that would let him whisper, "I saw a butterfly. There can be more to life." And one day, finally, he was down. And we will continue. Actually, we will finish next week. Have you ever set out on a journey without knowing where you were going? You know, when I was young, my family would load up our camping gear, pile 5 kids, 2 adults, and at least 1 dog in the station wagon, and set off. We'd pick a direction and drive for a few hours. Usually we headed for the mountains or for the national forest, and in those places, campgrounds were plentiful, although we didn't always need one. The wonderful thing was that we didn't know the destination when we started. But we always ended up where we were supposed to be. We ended up at a place where we could discover new things, where we could enjoy the out of doors, and where we could just be together as a family. And there were times when things were not so wonderful, such as the time when we had to camp in the parking lot because the car broke down. Or the time we had to go into town to buy extra blankets because it was cold, and it was colder than our sleeping bags could handle. But we still managed to have a good time. And let me tell you, 5 kids and 2 adults and a dog in a 9x9 tent is interesting. Okay. Our friend Stripe set out to climb the caterpillar pillar, but he didn't find what he expected there. So he began to descend. He went down the pillar because he had seen what was at the top, and it wasn't what he expected. He found that his drive to go up was misplaced. On the other hand, Jesus knew what to expect in Jerusalem. He sent the disciples ahead to find the colt. They went, and there it was. He also knew that the people would greet him as a hero. And he knew that the Romans and the temple elites would see him as a dangerous insurgent. He was riding in a parade, but he was also riding into a perilous situation. Now, both Jesus and Stripe made the decision to follow a difficult path. They moved against the grain of their societies. They did not follow the path of least resistance. Rather, they chose the path of right. You know, as a church, Milwaukee MCC is starting on a new path. It's an exciting new adventure. For a group of people to select and follow a path is difficult. How do you choose? What if the group wants to take the left fork and you really believe that the right fork will lead the church to the best result? Perhaps it means that the congregation needs to get behind a direction that all don't necessarily agree on. Maybe it means that as a group, MCC, Milwaukee MCC, needs to pray and trust that the right decision will be made. In any case, like Stripe and like Jesus, Milwaukee MCC is called to step forth in faith, to trust the leadership as Stripe trusted Yellow, and as Jesus trusted that his decision was right. You know, individually we all have decisions. Maybe not you, but I do. We all worry that the decisions will be wrong, that we'll end up worse off than we are. But we can't defer. We have to decide. Otherwise, the decision will be made without our input. For instance, if we delay on deciding whether to accept that new job or not, the prospective employer will just pick somebody else. So we have to trust. We have to have faith. You know, though, sometimes faith can waver. We second guess ourselves. You know, Stripe began to do that, even when he felt love and gratitude as he descended that pillar. Somehow, we need each and every one of us to step out in faith and do the thing that seems right. Right now, Stripe is at the base of the pillar. Jesus is in Jerusalem. And Milwaukee MCC is at the crossroads. Decisions have been made. More decisions need to be made. All of us are called to trust the path that God has called us to travel. Amen?
Amen.